Okay, now let us go through this third part of the Tuesday week 4 lecture. This is called word breakdown analysis. So basically, after you understand that in planning you need to know your resources, your resources, data availability, and then also the plan of how things will be going, how much you need and all that. These are all very preliminary. There's a lot of other analysis that should be done after we've done our time planning, and we're explaining that as we go along. This basically the resources and time lectures will go all the way up to about finishing of week 7 actually. Yeah. Halfway through, before we go into cost and all that, you see. So those are actually a lot faster because these are the basic things that you need to understand first. Okay, so basically work breakdown is essential, it's a backbone, it's a backbone of the whole planning exercise. So it's like when you are a new engineer, when you go into the job, you need to carry out work breakdown analysis. In fact, it is also not too much to say that in the beginning of planning, it's the first step that you do. Okay, followed by resources planning. But here we introduce you to resources first, but it's okay, it's the same. Okay, basically this has to be combined with your resources to make sense of anything really. So work breakdown is the backbone. It addresses all the technical scope of work, and it really tells the engineers what is expected from the project. So it is basically like putting everything in a very hierarchy format. It's like you're doing a list, a list of what is the work to be done. It's just that you plan your day, like you wake up in the morning, you take a breakfast, and then after that you go to uni, and then after that what do you do, so basically it's the entire project's view. It's a view, it's an understanding of all the technical work that has to go into the project. So in work breakdown structure, so you're basically, it is a tool, it is a technique that breaks down individual component of the project into smaller components, or what we call manageable manageable task, okay, of a project. So here basically, what we're saying is you are breaking down the project into a smaller manageable task, and basically you're using work breakdown structure or work breakdown analysis to do a work breakdown structure, and it will be used as a framework. Okay, it's a framework for all planning, all controlling. It will break down the project into manageable component. It will provide a coverage of all the work that is to be done in a very easily understandable, very easily readable format before everything else is attached to it, like resources, like time, like cost, quality, risk, even everything really, procurement, management, contract management is all based on work breakdown analysis. Site management, site control is all breakdown on that. Okay, it's based on that. So work breakdown analysis will break the project into very manageable, smaller tasks, and then it will go into more and more detail. So it's like, you go from one level to another level. So first you do an overall level, okay, a very overall level, and then after that you break up every level. You ask yourself, can they be more specific? Can you have a subtask? Can you have something more detailed? And then after that, from that second level, you break it down to third level. Normally we recommend 3 levels. We do not want to have more than 3 levels. So work breakdown structure here, it's like this is level 1, like I'm showing you here. This is like level 1, and then from level 1, for example, you're breaking down your building work, into foundation work, piling, hacking, and this is into superstructure, substructure. So foundation work can be your layer 2, and then after that piling, hacking of piles, and pile caps can be your layer 3. You see, so you could use this format, and on Thursday this week, Dr. Lee will show you work breakdown structure in a column kind of format. So basically you can have it in a column. So column 1 is all your level 1, column 2 is all your level 2, column 3 is all your level 3, and column 4 can be your level 4 or a remark on the work breakdown that you have carried out. Okay, so it's not that difficult really. It's actually a very logical technique. It's a very logical tool, and then you can also use what we call a organization chart or some sort of chart, a hierarchy chart to do that. The hierarchy chart can go from left to right. It can go from top to bottom, so you can have all your layer 1 in the top, and then followed by your layer 2 in the bottom, and layer 3 in the last bottom bit, for example. But those hierarchy format will usually use it for product breakdown, because for project breakdown the components is a lot, you see. So if you use project breakdown using hierarchy chart kind of format, it can be it's easy to read, but it can be very big, so all your drawings is really huge, you may need an A1 size to complete the whole picture. So we normally don't recommend that. We will usually go by the list format, which is the layer 1, 2, 3, in the very section 1 list, in the list style. Okay, so let me show you the list style. Let me see if I have this here. This is the list style. Okay, so you have your layer 1, this can be your foundation work, and layer 2, this is your foundation work, and then layer 2 can be your piling. Okay, and this is also 1.2 is your layer 2, 1.3 is also your layer 3. So piling, and then you can have your hacking, you can have your driving, you can have your transportation hacking, and all that. And then layer 3 can be with foundation work, it can be pile cap, something like that. Okay, and layers that can be finishing, so well, basically this is how you do it. This is, so your 1.2.1, 1.2 is your layer 3 here. Okay, so this is the idea of how we do work breakdown in the list format. I call it the listing kind of format, the breaking down kind of way. And then you can also do it in a hierarchy format, which we will also do it for product breakdown. If you have a pen, if you have a handphone, if you have a bottle, it's something more product based, then you will use a hierarchical kind of format. And then of course Dr. Lee was going to tell you the column kind of format. She usually shows it in the column format. So you have one column layer 1, one column layer 2, one column layer 3, one column layer 4, something like that. So she will have something like layer 1, layer 2, layer 3, okay, and then details if necessary, okay, or remark if necessary. Okay, so the idea of work breakdown analysis is don't go too big. Don't go like phase 1, phase 2 is layer 1. Okay, you have to go right to the technical, right to the work. Okay, so building work, drainage work, sewerage work. Okay, so this is going to be very helpful for your IDP. So basically your IDP, you need to produce this. So after your drawings is completed, you need to break it down, in your conceptual design and preliminary design. It's probably just layer 1 and 2, you see. So then it will build up to layer 3 in detailed design later on. Okay, so here let's go back to the other slides. Okay. So yeah, so you have to remember, work breakdown is the backbone of any planning, any planning, anything that has to do with the operation of the project is all in work breakdown. So here we need to combine work breakdown with resources. So let me go through that with you in the next recording. Okay.